Well, it's the noise dispute that's got everybody squawking. The battle between a bird-loving family and the entire street that wants them silenced.
They should get a life.
We come out here for nature. That's why we live out here. And the birds are part of nature.
But this is way too much nature for some residents on this street.
So I think it's just a whinging.
There's no denying they're amazing creatures to look at. But it's the noise they make that's got Tindo's neighbours in a flap.
So, Tin, these are the birds that are ruffling a few feathers among your neighbours, are they?
Yes, but I'm willing to work with the neighbours, but I don't know why they're taking me to court.
When Tin, his wife Kim and their 3 children moved here, they brought their pets. A vast and expensive collection of exotic birds.
Tin, how many birds do you have here at the moment?
Approximately about 30.
They converted the tennis court into an aviary. And that's when the neighbours' noise complaints started flying in.
Your neighbours are quite close. I mean, can you understand where they're coming from, or...?
Yes, I do understand. So that's the reason why I'm reducing the amount of birds.
In an attempt to silence his neighbours, Tin has already sold several birds and dismantled parts of his aviary.
I sold a few already, and I'm starting to still put on the ad now, trying to sell what I can at the moment.
But that, it seems, isn't good enough. And now the neighbours are taking him to court.
I just feel shocked, you know. I don't like the idea of it, but I mean, if we have to go to court, we go to court, because I don't think we did anything wrong. It's just a hobby.
But I don't need a lawyer or solicitor because I don't think I'm doing anything wrong.
The 2 neighbours making all the noise about the noise were surprisingly quiet today. In fact, when we asked them to do an interview explaining just how unbearable it is to live here, they refused.
Like, there's always going to be noise out here. There's always going to be animals. There's always going to be snakes.
Brian Burton lives just over the fence.
Brian, what do you think of the birds?
I love the birds, yeah. I like some myself, actually.
Brian says he's even happy to help out.
I actually told him if he wants to put some over here, I'd take some.
But this isn't the only street where feathers have been flying. The rooster row at Fred Hutton's place has lasted for years.
Why did you shift in there?
Why don't you take it somewhere?
Why don't you shift out?
I would love to. I wish I really could afford to sell up and go now, but I can't.
You can't, eh? So you want me to sell up and go?
The constant crowing angered his neighbours so much they made video noise diaries.
6:43. You'd think on a Sunday morning it'd be reasonable to be able to sleep in, but these roosters have been crowing for many hours.
Not fair that anybody has to live next door to this.
And they'll complain till they die. That's the trouble with them. They haven't got a life.
Back at Tin's place, and the Macaw war is still in full flight.
I have to say, standing here, they are quite loud. Does that die down at certain points during the day? Are they loud all the time, or...?
No, they're only making noise when people here. But if there's no one here, they're normally very quiet.
So in your previous properties, you've never had a complaint?
Never.
They say that some of the birds are scaring off the natural wildlife in the area. Is that true?
I don't think so. I hear kookaburras every morning at 5 a.m.
I don't know. Each to their own. I'd go and live in the city if I was like that.
If they do lose their court battle against their neighbours, the family says they'll have no choice but to sell up and fly the coop.
So you feel like you're being forced to move?
Yes.
Well, I don't want the birds to go.
I think they're just selfish.
And that case will be heard next week. Meanwhile, the council tells us it's received 4 complaints and is conducting an investigation.